straight out to Gene Casares with In Session. Gene, the case is reopened.
That's right. The district attorney that just took office a few days ago is actually handing it back to the police department. They will convene a task force to look at basics, police notes from way in the beginning, to discover and try to find out who killed JonBenet Ramsey. But I think, Nancy, the revelation here, I think, comes from new DNA evidence uncovered mid-year last year.
And what DNA evidence are you
let's
referring
talk
to
about
specifically?
1997, they did find DNA in the panties of JonBenet Ramsey, an undisclosed male DNA that was thought it could have been the person that put the panties together in China. But last year, nuclear DNA testing of touch DNA testing was done and found DNA on the side of the long johns, on both sides, that was identical to the DNA in the panties.
You are seeing new photos we have just obtained of JonBenet Ramsey and the crime scene. To Rupa Michelini, our producer on the case. What can you tell me, Rupa?
About the evidence, Nancy, you're talking about these photos, for example. There's a lot going on in this case, and this is what's so frustrating to prosecutors as well as the police department. As you know, they made an announcement today. They will be working jointly, formulating a task force of about 20 people that will be revisiting all of the evidence, all of the records in the case. There is some chance also that now with newly available technology, they will be able to revisit actual evidence that they weren't able to process before, and maybe look at it and find new evidence from this current evidence in the evidence room.
To Cheryl McCollum, crime analyst and director of a cold case squad. Cheryl, the killer felt so at home in the Ramsey home, she wrote, I believe, a 5-page ransom note claiming to take the child away, wrote a practice note as well. Come on, it was written with, let's see, Patsy Ramsey's Sharpie on Patsy Ramsey's notepad.
The pen was put back on her desk.
And then the so-called kidnapper says, you know what, to heck with all the money, I'll just kill her here and leave her body.
Right, all in the same house. And this killer felt so at home on Christmas Eve, he went up and down the steps, stayed in the home a while, went and found the pen, went and got her blanket, went and got a toy. Yeah, he was in no hurry to leave this house, this stranger. And don't forget the chronic vaginal injury.
Explain.
On the autopsy report, it explains in great detail that JonBenet suffered chronic vaginal injury, which means she was molested over a period of time. So again, this stranger would have to have access to her and then, harm her sexually and then come in the house and kill her at another time.
To Dr. Joshua Perper, Chief Medical Examiner, Broward County, the new investigative task force says that additional testing will be done. What testing do you believe that may be?
Well, probably they are going to review the entire body of evidence, and as it was indicated, there was some new evidence which was found recently, and most likely they will try to match the DNA to the national database.
To Gene Casares with In Session, why have the police decided now to take the case back?
Well, I think the DA's office is giving it back to the police department. Remember, 2002, the DA's office took over the investigation because the police department was amid with controversy about how they had handled this case. Now it's going back to where they believe it should be. You know, Nancy, when I was in Colorado in 2006, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation told me that they had tested more items for DNA from this case than in the history of the Colorado Bureau of Investigation as to any other case in Colorado.
Jane, have they any new theories?
Well, I don't think they have new theories, but they have new DNA techniques, and I think that is going to be central to this case. But can we only say this is a DNA case now, or can we still say that other evidence will lead to clues to find the killer?